Faraway friends, welcome. You have once more found yourself at Darkeport, Curse of Strahd edition. We are down a player today, but Miss Kenzie will rejoin us next session. She was called away unexpectedly, but here we are, and we're going to soldier on, although Artexia of the Fog Cloud fame will still be with you, and I will be playing her today.
Angel has a whole new idea of how to play her in combat now.
A whole new perspective on things. It's true.
It's the druid squid tactic.
I'll get in front to defend. I'll be in behind to heal, and I will blind everyone. Oh no.
Go team.
Well, if everyone is equally disadvantaged, then it works out in the end.
Right?
All right. So when last we left our heroes,
Nothing was happening. Any consequence.
Absolutely nothing was happening. You had just found the Durst children.
Little babies.
And
see, they did come inside.
We will see. They did come inside after all. That's right, Justin. And I believe
They were always.
we have a little something. Actually, we already have the Candle of Tales lit. See?
Yeah, we had to pre-light a candle today.
We just did it. We did it.
For reasons.
For reasons. And we have a journal entry, yes?
Yes.
All right. Let's do it.
Rather than a proper journal entry, I would like this to be considered Farron's bathroom thoughts. I imagine after we fought the apparition, after the fog cleared,
You went back to that
I went to the bathroom.
that you've had.
and this was kind of her internal.
Without running
bathroom
water, but
monologue.
she's she's a toughie. Okay. All right.
So
You only need
here's-
running water if you're staying.
Yeah.
Right?
Can't wait for right in the middle of like a deep thought. Like, what is that smell anyway?
It was more for a moment alone than anything else.
Love it.
All right. So here's what's kind of going on in her mind at the moment. What in the actual hell is going on? No, seriously, is this actual hell? I'm starting to have my suspicions. This is certainly not the world I know. Both Lucida and Umbra have left the sky. These two moons, which have determined so much of my life, so much of my power, they are the very symbols of my internal division, the ever-present dichotomy. I would say the moons are the closest thing to a representation of who I am as anything I've ever known, and somehow they are gone, replaced by some smooth, glowing orb, just as beautiful and bright as it is ominous and foreboding. Also, the fog? What's up with that? Everything here is so creepy. Those kids give me the chills, but, well, to be fair, pretty much all kids make my skin crawl. Between the moon, the fog, and of course being attacked by objects and apparitions alike, I am completely perplexed by myself. Because the thing that keeps sneaking to the forefront of my mind is this group I have found myself in. I'm a loner, always have been. I never fit into any group. Not elf enough for the elves, not human enough for the humans. Even my magic is split. And once my parents realized I wasn't going to be following down one or the other of them in their sorcerer ways, well, they were basically done with me too. So closing myself off was the only safe way to go in life. It took a long time just for me to get comfortable traveling with Durgan. And since he's so good, I think I'll never really end up showing him who I truly am. But now I'm in this fucked up place and forced to work with all these people I don't know, and they basically saved me back there. Well, they probably just realized we all need each other to get out of this damn house alive. But I don't know. The whole thing has made me feel something. And that's more than I've done in a long time.
Some insights there.
Yep. No, that's really good. All right. So we left off as Finney had unlocked the door with the key that he found in the library earlier. And as you're looking into this attic room, You are seeing 2 small beds that are pushed into either corner. There is a large window that's been bricked up. You also see... okay, I'll read the description, but I wanted to make sure to get those 2 in. This room contains a bricked-up window flanked by 2 dusty wood-frame beds sized for children. So there you finally have
My kid beds.
your kid beds, your kid furniture. Closer to the door is a toy chest with windmills painted on its sides, and a dollhouse that's a perfect replica of the dreary edifice in which you now stand. These furnishings are draped in cobwebs. Lying in the middle of the floor are 2 small skeletons wearing tattered but familiar clothing. The smaller of the 2 cradles a stuffed doll that you also recognize. But like I said, as you come in, they had risen up, and the skeletons, of course, had stayed there. But you now see 2. If you didn't know better, I was going to say ghostly apparitions, but they're not immediate. It's not immediately obvious that they're not actually there. It's only when the light hits them in a certain way or you stand at certain angles that you realize you can see through them.
Oh, so they actually look translucent now.
Yeah.
The bones themselves?
No.
Or the kids?
The kids, the spirits that have risen.
Oh, so we also see the...
Sorry, I'm making fun of the Paija that was in the main campaign pretty prominently. Of course, you have the party, and then you have the 2 Durst children.
Poor children. Sorry, I was just talking shit on you guys. Feel bad now that I just found out you're dead.
It's bathroom time.
Yeah, it's private.
And so this version of Roosevelt the True ?1 is looking at y'all and, well, what do you have to say for yourselves?
This is who said this?
The ghost
girl.
that's just come up. Yeah. She says, I don't think you're supposed to be up here, but we don't have much company.
Do you...
Well, we killed the monster.
Yeah.
Oh?
Do you recognize us? Have you seen us before? Pretty unique group.
You are. Maybe in a dream? Who are they? What are they doing in our room? I'm trying to find this out, Thornbolt. Patience. Go and play. He kind of shrugs and loses interest.
I want to
Wanders over.
move up to the doorway.
Okay.
I don't know if we've actually gotten into the room yet or not.
Finney's like right in the threshold, maybe even with a foot inside.
Excuse me, lad.
Hmm?
I'm gonna
He looks up from the toy chest that he ambled over.
cautiously step inside the bedroom.
Okay. You come in, floorboards creak under you. It's dusty in here. And when you come in, you kind of see Rose hold her breath. And then, oh, all right, well, I suppose you can come in. And she steps aside, almost like she's yielding the space to you. And she walks over to her bed, presumably, and kind of plays with the tattered blanket that's on top of it.
Do they sound similar? Is their demeanor similar, like their physicality, like?
They look similar and they sound similar, but there's something about their energy that feels a little different to you. Make an investigation check or insight
Do they have the
check.
same purple tone to the skin?
They do.
I'm not counting that because it flew out of my tray. That's my rule. Okay, that's gonna be an 18 for investigation.
Okay. As you're looking at them like very closely, you notice that these look slightly more like real children. So the dress is identical, but the skin has little nicks and scratches on it. you see that the little boy looks like he might have skinned a hand from falling down. The girl has a little bit of like some of her hair. You see split ends on the hair, that sort of thing. So they just look more like real people.
Okay. Other than the probably dead part. Okay.
Other than the probably dead part. And Rosavalda looks up shyly from her bed as she's like picking at the blanket and just stares at you, Durgan, because you're the first one who'd come into the room. What are the rest of you doing?
If I can get in,
Yeah.
I think we should all kind of just try and
Okay.
I was gonna.
file
Yeah,
it.
there's plenty of space.
Do you want to leave your room?
Are you asking Thornbolt or Rosavalda?
Both.
Okay.
Just kind of looking back and forth between them.
He's largely ignoring you. You see, he's
Interesting.
he's playing with the toys in his chest, and you notice, Justin, you don't need to make a roll for this, that he's scooping in, but he doesn't really seem to be moving much of anything in the chest. But then at some point, he'll just have a toy in his hand.
Right. Okay.
And in a very small voice, Rose says, I don't think Father or Mother would like that. Father especially. And not to get in the way of things. But he'll come back. He always does. He'll come back. And Farron, writing off of that 18, as you looked at the children, you glanced behind you, and your cynical question mark mind begins to weave a tale, because you see this heavy door with the padlock on it, and from the inside there are all kinds of scratches, gouges, even small little burns on the inside of the door. Some of it's around the floorboard. Some of it looks like someone was clawing at the lock. And you even see scratch marks around the keyhole, which of course wouldn't have done them any good because it was padlocked from the outside, but they may not have known that. And you look at her and you kind of note the height, the width of the scratch marks, and it looks like about her frame.
It leads to like a very significant shift in her feelings toward these kids, because before they were such a nuisance. This whole thing has been such a nuisance to her, and she doesn't like fucking kids.
Right.
But all of a sudden, she relates to them, this feeling of abandonment from your parents. Once you didn't give them what they wanted or weren't what they wanted you to be or whatever it was, they abandoned you. And so all of a sudden, she's overwhelmed by a feling of pity and understanding what they might be going through a little bit.
Do I catch that?
Make a perception just to see the perception or investigation, whichever is better.
Perception is...
It's not high to catch the scratches. I was just letting Caitlin write off that 18.
Sure. Jesus. That was a 20.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it actually, with your dwarven eye, as soon as you...
Her reaction.
Oh, her reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's insight then?
If that's an insight,
Yeah,
that's
it's
going to be a
insight. I'm
22.
22?
Even better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you catch her reacting to something and shifting, and you know her as well as probably anybody in this world does at this point. Particularly this world, but in general. And an unusual look of pity flits across her elven features and then is swallowed again by the moment.
We'll see. Okay. that can wait.
I don't... He will come back, won't he?
Gira is just gonna drop to her knees. Like, this is... She's never seen this before. She's seen half-orc kids in orc clans and human groups abandoned, and her tribe has taken them in. But she's never seen anybody do this to children.
As you drop down, you come close to the bones. They rustle a bit, and you see I'll give you that detail in a second. Okay. Mm-hmm. What do you do?
I mean, she's probably going to take a moment just to feel. You know, there's a lot of
big breath.
Yeah, the big breath, the looking around, the taking it in. Durgan seems to be talking to the kids, and as far as she can tell, he's probably the best person to talk to them.
You feel Finney's hand on your shoulder. One of the few times he could actually reach up and touch there. And he's looking around at the place, kind of wide-eyed. And Artexia is the closest to the door now. She just kind of took a step in, and she's like shaking her head in disgust, right, but hasn't said anything. Because Kenzie actually got it immediately as soon as she's like, "Yep, the children have been locked in." It probably did, like she said at the very end of the last session. So yeah, I know that character knows what's up.
Yeah. Gara might reach down at the little doll on the floor that the boy was holding.
Yeah, you see.
Just kind of gently pick it up and cradle it.
So it's a twin. It's a twin to the doll that you found in the bassinet earlier with the nursemaid, with the screeching nursemaid. It's maybe in a little bit better shape though. Like the eyeball isn't hanging out and that sort of thing.
Made slightly better.
Or just hasn't been tossed about as much. And the detail that you notice then is that in their last moments, the children were embracing each other.
Okay, that's rough. That's rough.
Children.
Jeez.
Bolivia.
Rose looks up at you. Thorn is still just, and you think at this point he may not be as oblivious as he appeared at first glance, but he's kind of just unwilling to look at the people in the room and is still playing with the toys.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one else coming but us. But I think it's why we're here, to set you free.
No, that can't be true.
How can we prove it to you?
She looks over at her brother, and now she answers you by walking to this, honestly, cobweb-covered and dusty, yet still exquisite dollhouse. The level of detail is eye-popping.
I'll go. I'm gonna, maybe against better judgment, but I'll get the shield, like, slung back and out of the way.
She nods to you for some reason you're not entirely sure of, acknowledging something. And she's staring at the dollhouse. You see... Yeah, and the dollhouse has, like, it has figures in it. So they're a little mom, there's a little dad, they're actually them in the house or something approximating them, a handful of servants, and they're just in all. But in the dollhouse, everybody is gathered around in the dining room and is happy and is eating. And she says, "There's your friend. Actually, she's right. Father says that there is a monster in the basement. And that's why we're in this room. But..." And she looks down. She looks at the bones. Yeah. But sometimes they're forgetful. Sometimes Nurse Teresa is kind to us, and she'll slip chocolates under the door. sometimes even she. But she stopped coming. There was screaming, shouting, and she stopped coming. Is she? She looks down at her brother again, lowers her voice, drifts a little closer to you. Is she still? Is she all right?
I honestly don't know. There's nobody else left in the house.
She goes to our little brother, Walter. But I suppose she's with him. That makes sense. But no, if you'll just stay here, you can rest. You can play with us. You don't have to go. You don't have to go anywhere. It's not safe. It really isn't. There is a monster.
If there is more monsters, we will deal with them. But I think truly the reason we are here is to set the two of you free. To give you some measure of peace.
Justin, I'm gonna override what's written here and go ahead and let you make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Get a good one.
Persuasion. That's a natural 20.
That was a nat 20,
Really?
baby.
And
Yes.
persuasion, if you wanted, that would be a 24. He'll put his hand out and just hold it there.
Her eyes glisten with some sort of tear equivalent, and then she reaches out. This girl does, who fought so hard to get out and so hard to keep her and her brother alive. She takes your hand.
I'll put his hand over hers just to kind of.
She leans toward your ear and she whispers, There's a door in the attic. No one knows about it. I'm not supposed to know about it either. But Nurse Teresa showed us one time. That's where you should go.
Not until we're done. You deserve to be free. You deserve to be at peace.
I think that's the only way. I think that's the only way we can be. Go. Look at the dollhouse.
He'll do so. And if he can do so, he'll continue to hold her hand.
Okay. Well, Durgan is doing that. What are y'all doing?
I'm gonna walk over to the bones and pick out the little doll and see if I can hand it to Thorn if he'll let me.
Okay.
I think I was already holding it.
Oh, you have the doll?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come and snatch it. You know?
Yeah,
No,
she's just
maybe
kind of
then
holding it
She would just
loosely.
say to you then, like, why don't you see if he'll take it? Maybe he'll warm up to us a little bit.
Gira heard the monster again
Mm-hmm.
because she was listening in over there.
Yeah, room's not very big.
And Gira will kind of hand the doll to you
Then I'll try
and nod. And she's going to go over kind of quietly to the dollhouse because she heard there's a door.
Okay.
She's not going to say anything yet.
For some reason, Artexia's wandered over to the bricked windows, and she's taking one of her nails, and she's like just lightly scratching at the mortar, like closely examining it. Here and periodically, kind of still shaking her head every so often. You bring this battered, kind of misshapen doll over to the boy. He, for the first time, acknowledges someone who's not his sister, since his initial outburst, and like looks to the side and sees the doll in your hands. That's mine.
That's why I'm giving it to you. Yeah. There you go.
He reaches for it, and his hand goes through it.
You know, why don't I just lay it on your pillow?
You gave it to me. And then it's in his hand. Not the physical, obviously not the physical doll, but some sort of representation of it. And he says, I'm not too old for dolls. This doll is good. This doll is strong.
Yeah, it seems really nice.
See how strong he is?
Yeah.
He holds the doll out with the arms.
He's almost scary. He's a strong doll, yeah. Where'd you get it?
One day the doll will fight the monster, and then we can go. Finally. Where did I get it? Rose! Oh, don't bellow. Sister, where'd the doll come from? I don't remember. But I'm glad it's here with us now. Justin, make, with advantage, make a perception check.
Oof. Not great. That's a 10.
10. Okay. You're searching around, but since you haven't been all through this attic yet, you're not, it's somewhere on this floor, but you're not sure yet. And
What is it you want to show me?
it should be there. And Gira, since you're at the dollhouse,
Yeah, she went over to the dollhouse can she help?
If you want to look, yeah, go ahead and since you know what floor to look on, roll with advantage.
His attention's pretty split.
Yeah, you're a little distracted right now.
It's an 11.
And you have advantage on this one.
Oh, sweet.
Yep. Because you know what floor to look at.
That's much better. That's going to be a 23.
Awesome. So you see, there's a room. There's a room a little bit further down this hallway. Like it looks like a large, maybe storage room of some sort with like covered furniture, and like that. There's a big like steamer trunk in there as well. And you're looking, and there's very, very faint outline in on one of the walls. And then when you just lightly tap the wall, the door, it's like something clicks, and then it swings out a little bit toward you in this dollhouse. And as you now, I'm going to say that especially with that high, Melissa, now that you can actually see the entire house as a unit, instead of having to be like rats in a maze, there is like a small section of column, and it looks like that's been kind of reserved, that runs all the way down from the attic and to the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, does that make sense how I'm describing that? Yeah.
Where it seemed kind of like just a dead space of
Where there's
wall
dead space, yeah.
sticking into rooms.
But you're like, that runs all the way down.
Probably like a big McDonald's playscape
To the-
swirly
to
slide
the
that goes
basement.
all
That's
the way
exactly
down.
that's exactly it.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
That's why they hide it from the
Not
kids.
loving it.
And she says, That's it.
Yeah, she'll poke the door up in the attic to show Durgan. Go there.
Once she hears that, Artexia's ear perks up. She turns away and she walks with more purpose over to you than she has since she's been in this room. I want out of this place. If this is the way out, if this is the way through, then we should go there.
Well, it looks like the way out is down and through a monster.
Well, if it's to some kind of basement, it's all the same to me. It's not like we can go outside in the yard anyway. We're trapped in here, aren't we?
Seems that way.
It's a small room. I'm catching all of this.
Yeah. rooms, 15 by 15. Okay. So yeah. And she says, she lowers her voice so that Thornbolt doesn't hear her, but she says, "They scratched at the window too. Tried to file down the mortaring for years, it looks like. You can tell that she kept trying because the scratching would get higher. But it looks like the mist can't get through that. If we wanted to risk resting. I don't know, though. Maybe it's not a good idea."
Here or below? You mean here?
Potentially. She like is about to say something and looks at Rose, and Rose says, "It's all right. Just say it. I don't like the idea of," Artexia says, "I don't like the idea of somebody coming and locking the door behind us and locking us in."
Take the damn door off the hinges.
It's true. I suppose we're not children.
Kira's gonna get up, go right outside, and is the padlock, was that like on chains?
Yeah.
Holding, she's gonna take the whole chains and padlock set.
Okay, you just take everything out?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And bring it into the room with us and toss it in the corner.
Okay.
Angrily. Be like, there. No
Roosevelt,
lock, no chain.
Roosevelt just stares and blankly kind of looks at it for a while. Such an ugly thing. Huh.
Rosa, I swear to you, when we leave, we'll take you and your brother with us.
If you're serious, and I think you are, take us.
Is she looking at the
bones? Mm-hmm.
You have my word.
I was going to beg you to stay. It's been ever so long since we've had company. But I think you're right.
Oh, you'll have company. You'll have us.
That was a kind thing you did for Thornbolt. Thank you. I don't even know your name.
I'm Farron.
Farron. And the rest of you?
You can call me Durgan.
Mr. Durgan. I'm Finny. Hi, Finny. Are you a child? Nope. Oh. I guess I should try to do my bad Cockney, but anyway, yeah. No. Oh, well, why you so short? Why you so tall? Oh.
It's totally fair.
Okay. She doesn't really know what to say.
Kira's gonna basically take one knee to get down at a lower level, and then she'll go, "I'm Gira of Clan Shagani. We will find you a better view than this."
Gira, are you related to the Dusk Elves or something? You don't look human.
Does Gira know about Dusk Elves?
This is a new one.
What are Dusk Elves?
I thought
she does have pointy ears.
because you do have
She's
right.
green.
Yeah. I thought maybe, and remind me, Caitlin, your hair is down or up?
Down.
It's down. Okay, so you can't.
Down.
So you can't really see the pointy.
As much as possible.
Yeah, that's what I was remembering.
You're not the anime ears where they're like.
So the only people who are like immediately of Fey ancestry or Elven or otherwise human would be you and Artexia.
And
Yeah, 'cause orcs come from-
And then that's
right?
true. That's true. I can't forget.
You can't forget him. I'm sure he is critiquing the curtains
Yeah.
or something right now.
You hear, I mean, when this whole thing started up, Morg, basically, you hear him muttering, like, it's ghastly in here, and
Artexia might know.
just going around. But you hear her tell you, they used to come around from time to time, but they always seemed so sad. And Father said that they were bad and we should avoid them, but they always seem perfectly fine to me. Just sad. That's what I thought you and Artexia. Oh, Rosavolda, ma'am. That's what I thought maybe she was, and the tall elf with the golden hair, although I've never seen an elf that tall before. That, my darling, is because you haven't seen someone of my breeding. And because he is very tall. So he's like 6'5".
Are you Dusk Elf?
Who are you asking?
Rose.
Oh, Rose? Oh, no. I'm just Rose of all the dust. And, the rest.
Nice to meet you, Rose of all the Durst.
And this is like the first time she's given an actual smile since the whole thing. I think I like you, Gia. What's your clan again?
Shikani.
Shikani. Well, maybe someday you can tell me stories of the Shikani. I love stories. Hearing of places that aren't within this valley.
I have plenty of stories.
I bet. I've never seen a woman so, strong, and I love it.
And she'll let out this like big bellow laugh.
Mother's tall like you, but she's slender. I miss. She hasn't played on her harpsichord of late. I wish she would. Those are good memories. Those are good moments.
Farron reaches in her sack and pulls out the topaz pendant.
Oh,
Was this your mom's?
Oh, it's Mother's. Yes, she'd wear that on special occasions.
Might look nice on you.
Really?
I don't think she's using it right now.
Thank you so much. And she starts to reach for it and then looks kind of sheepish. Maybe you can put it with her. And she takes her chin over to her bones.
Sure.
And she sees your, where do you have your holy symbol, Justin?
He has one that's probably around, it's like a
Around his
pendant.
neck, okay.
But I think he might have one on his shield too.
So she sees your holy symbol for a moment. Before you go, I have a question.
Hey?
Do you think, am I me, or is that me? And of course, she's looking down at the bones.
I think both.
Both? Really?
Do you feel like you?
I don't know how I'd feel otherwise.
I think it's you holding on to hope.
And in one of those moments that little girls sometimes have, she stands up straight and speaks with a wisdom far beyond her years. I think, Durgan, that hope is all we have. And so it becomes the most precious thing, if not the only thing. Are you going to rest here?
I kind of look at the rest of the group.
Hope becomes all you have until you hold on to peace.
Would it be okay if we shared your space for a while before you come with us?
It would.
A rest would be wise.
I don't know peace. And with that, she goes over and she sits on her bed. And Thorn, without really saying much more and thinking, although he does look up at you for a moment, and kind of shake the doll a little bit, and then as if he's menacing you, and then he goes and hops onto his bed, and some ectoplasmic dust flies up from the bed, even though the actual physical structure remains the same. And both of them facing each other, both of them lie on their sides, and you see that there are indentations in the bed of them being on the edge of their beds, lying on their sides, going to sleep, looking at each other. They dissipate. Well, if that isn't the most fucking depressing thing I have ever heard, Morgathi says, looking around. These people, a ghost doesn't begin to describe it. And believe me, ghost describes quite a bit. There's a lot of ground.
Kira's gonna stand up and face Morgathi. Are you speaking of the children or the ones who did this to them? She's got a very serious look on her face.
Don't piss off Kira.
These children didn't know anything but this situation, this god's awful situation. No, whoever put the lock on that door and decided that. So what? Were they mucking about with things that. Remember, I think that we've stumbled into something of a cult, don't you?
I think we've discovered it's something that's down in that basement that they didn't want these children to really know about. Or for that matter, probably any of the others.
Did Artexia ever share with us the chanting that she heard
Yeah.
when she touched a couple of things?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
Yeah, so he's I'm assuming so for his deduction. Well,
So after Morgathi says that, she's kind of nod. Like she was a little confrontational,
yeah.
and then she goes, "Oh, okay. You're not complaining about the kids being annoying."
no, the thing about cults is that they tend to get out of hand, especially if they get successful. And I'm just wondering about what these idiots managed to dredge up, especially in a place like this.
And why do you think cult?
Well,
Why not demons or something that's being pulled over from the other side?
well, one doesn't preclude the other.
It's true.
What if the place was normal until the cult did something?
Well, they keep talking about father and mother, and father keeping them up here. So their father was in on trapping them up here. That's strike one.
Aye.
If he's still alive, he need to die.
Strike two is,
I don't think we have to worry about that.
well, fair points both. Strike two would be in that little, what was it? That little gathering, that little cloakroom that we had on the first floor, next to the dining room when we poked our heads in there. All of those cloaks were virtually identical.
Yeah, that was weird. All those black ones all hanging up that look the same.
That doesn't make any sense in a household like this. It really doesn't.
It wasn't for servants?
They were too nice, and the servants would be either would be the family cloaks or the servant cloaks, but they wouldn't have commingled like that, I don't think.
And it all had kind of a similar look and feel to them too. Like it was, well, almost more like a uniform of some sort.
Like it was a cult.
Aye. That's a good deduction.
And then finally, we have whatever nefarious thing is going on with this nurse and the child and that weird, you pointed it out, Farron, that nasty little family portrait that was on the second level with the resentful mother and all of that. So, any road, I'm just saying that this is adding up to something.
Why would the father trap his children?
If you're in a cult, you'll do all kinds of things.
Or a new child?
Well, and the mother knew too. And the nursemaid knew because they said that she was passing them chocolates under the door.
Yeah, everybody in this damn house was complicit in those.
So that's at least 3 people. Probably, no, you're right, probably everybody.
So, really, the only question is, did they leave him here intentionally? Or did they get themselves in over the head, and then they just never could come back?
That's where your demons come in.
Maybe.
I mean, they said they heard the nurse screaming, right? Before she never came back?
Yeah, they did.
Which means that it was close by. I mean, they couldn't have heard her be screaming from too far away.
I bet.
Probably.
I assure you, there are plenty of evils that could be visited just by the family themselves. Perhaps she got discovered.
Maybe.
We did find the body in the study.
With the creepy letter.
Artexia says, and there were all kinds of weird books through there inside of that little hidden room that we didn't have a chance to look at.
They were a little culty, right?
Probably more.
The ones that didn't look like the rest of the books.
I did open one or two, and they were
What
all
was the chant again? He
gibberish.
is the
Land.
He is the ancient.
the ancient.
This is Artexia. He is the ancient. She rolls her eyes. He is the ancient. He is the land. And
She's gonna sit down and pull out her encyclopedias.
Okay. And they just
She's
kept-
gonna look up ancient. She's gonna look up. I don't know. Not very many, but she'll probably start with that one
Okay.
if there's anything. Well,
If I
it
go
may
to
just be
this,
generic. These
are
might
you?
be different.
How are you feeling, Gara?
We kill monster. What happened here is wrong.
Can I at least...
It is sad. It
Right.
is maddening. It makes me angry. I do not have Grimash's blessing, but I understand the ones who would.
How are you feeling? Physically. So you got a little banged
I
up
need to
against...
rest. And she did take some damage. I can't
5
remember
points, I think.
what that did. I
You
think
got
that was
punched.
from the
Punched
black armor.
in the face by a
Punched in the
silver
face. So yeah, she's
Might be a little bruised or something.
maybe a little bruised, getting a little swollen. And she goes, I can rest.
Morgathy says, well, if we could have it.
Actually, I'm gonna... he's gonna grab your arm and say... And just kind of start whispering slightly. And something to the effect of... Bring your presence, bring your warmth. Let her be your full strength. Lord, see to it.
There's a
And
slight glow of dawn in Durgan's hands that absorbs into your body. And you feel it travel along your arm, up your neck, and then into your face. And there's warmth in your face, and then all of a sudden the swelling vanishes like mist before the noontime sun. Go ahead and roll, Justin. I think you have I think because you're a life cleric, your life domain, I think you get at least that much. Like, I think it's basically, even if you roll a 1, you'd still get it. Because it's like wisdom modifier plus level.
yeah, I'm just
So
trying
yeah.
to-
It's die 8 is the base.
Yep. I think it's another, I think I get that right off the bat.
Yeah, you do. And that's
2.
plus your level.
That's 4,
Yeah, so you
7,
you heal
9.
you heal at least 6 a pop, so yeah. So it's gone.
That puts me back up. I was only 5 down, but we squishy little 1 levels.
And
Points is a lot at this level.
Morgathy looks at you. Well, that's a nice trick.
Does that give me an extra temporary health point?
No.
I had to ask.
Ask.
A little
I
overhealing.
had
That is
to
fair.
ask.
That
Healed me a little
is
too
absolutely fair.
There's a little extra there.
He says, "Well, I wouldn't mind catching my breath here if you think that those awful mists aren't going to come seeping in." And he's looking almost accusingly at her text. She says, "Well, not through that window, but I can't speak to the rest of the house. It's just about time, if you think we have time for a little breather or not."
Not assuming that these mists didn't show up until we got here.
True, she says, I don't really know. We don't really know. We still don't know that much about them.
No, we don't. I think
House is old. Maybe it has withstood mist before.
it's possible. I would,
And he says, "That's a good idea. So you mean we're just going to ground? Just like getting in a little hidey hole?"
when I look at the window, how far is the mist?
Oh, it's bricked up.
It's like right on. Oh, it's on. Oh, the window's bricked up.
Yeah.
Cool. Yay.
Which is why Artexia was saying it's not just
Back
gonna
out in the
seal.
landing of the attic, was there any windows in there?
If you
the top of
go,
the stairs?
yeah, if you go around, there actually is a window. Like the hidden staircase that you guys came in, it's directly opposite that. So if you poke your head out and go around just 15 feet or whatever around the corner, you can see the window, and it looks like at the back of the house, because this was the one where the mist was closer to it. It hasn't moved. It really hasn't moved since you last looked at it.
So it's still about 10, 15
About 10
feet
about 10
away,
feet
if I
away,
remember
yeah.
correctly? Okay.
So
We have time.
All right. Then I suggest maybe take the time to rest here, and if we see something change, it's time to beat our feet.
Finney says, sounds like a plan.
Rest and prepare.
Okay. So y'all take a short rest in the children's rooms. Okay. If you are injured, I think you're the only person who's injured.
Yeah.
What was I? Did you waste a whole spell?
I'm just because this is so different from the normal one. I'm going to remind y'all of hit dice that you can on a short rest you can spend a hit die and heal that as well. So that may not be super important here, but will be absolutely be important in the future. Morgathi goes off to the corner. It looks like he drops into a quick meditation as he's trying to rebuild his arcane energies and gather them to himself. And for Artexia, there's not really anything she can do, but basically she's just down some spell slots anyway. So she spends her time actually playing with the dollhouse a little bit and looking at it and poking at it and elfing out on it, where they love beautiful
Elfing out.
elfing, beautiful,
detail in here
beautiful
is
artistic
amazing.
things. Yeah, exactly. Is there anything y'all want to do while the others are gathering themselves?
Farron stands up kind of abruptly, walks over to the...
I assume you shut the door to the room.
She walks over to the pile of bones. Door's still open, I'm assuming, from
Door's
the...
open.
Yeah.
Window
I don't
check.
think Garrett likes the idea of closing
Okay.
the door.
Okay, sure.
We took the
She's
padlock, but
Gonna hold the pendant in her hand. She's looking at it. And then she quickly just throws it down into the pile of bones and walks out of the room.
Okay.
And she's actually going to go stand in front of that window and just be watching out the window.
At the mist. Okay.
I think Garrett's actually going to park herself just outside the room. Just
Okay.
outside the door.
Then you can see Farron at the window.
And then one, at least, is it like a double door or is it a single door?
Single door.
Single door. Then yeah, she'll park herself on the floor, sit down, so that the door cannot shut. It will hit her first.
Okay.
Just because stuff in this house moves.
So even if it's trying to lock you in forcibly, animate.
Yeah, like if it opens into the landing and all the way back against the wall, she'll sit right in front of that.
It opens inward, but you can put a leg or a foot in there or whatever so that it can't possibly close.
Stretch out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's good. And that way you can also basically see all the doors. All
Yeah, and you just see her
kinda
kinda like-
from that landing.
Settle down and just kind of chill for a little bit.
Finney's a weirdo, so he comes up to you and he starts grooming you. He starts polishing your armor a little bit. He starts, if they're stray.
He's a little monkey.
Yeah, basically.
Picking bugs out of your hair and eating them.
Because he's bored, so he's just you're kind of
This has probably happened before.
many times when he's bored he just will do random crap like this, and then eventually he gets bored of that and he starts he goes over to Morgathi who's meditating and starts grooming you.
That's an interesting choice.
I can imagine how he feels about
We'll
that.
see how this goes.
And get your what do you have hair out of place and you've got eye crusties. I do not. And
How dare you?
but if I did, then you're saying that you could fine, do what you must. And he goes back and he has this chin up in the air.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, Morgathi.
Fine, out of necessity.
That's hilarious.
I wish Farron could say that in character, but she's outside of the window. Damn it, because he'd have a great. Okay, so that's happening, and time passes. Those of you who need it, you feel your chosen essence begin to flow back into your body. Morgathi breathes in. Right. Okay, let's just go deal with this. And he pushes himself off the floor, rolls his shoulders, rotates his hips around. And the children have not reappeared. And
Did I notice anything in the mist at all while I was...
it's slowly coming, and it looks like it's literally slowed its roll to, so in that entire time it's come maybe a foot and a half, whereas it had just been, coming in pretty quickly. Now, you know that it may be in fits and starts, so you're not willing to say that you have a huge amount of time even now.
All right.
And you kind of, I'm going to say, Caitlin, even though trancing isn't a thing for half elves, I'm going to say that you did. I mean, because even as humans, you can do this. You kind of like fell into the mist a bit. Your body was
dissociating because she was having too many feelings and she didn't want to continue to have them.
Oh, there you go.
So she became one with the mist.
So you're just kind of like you come as you're coming back to yourself,
having an empathetic moment. Well, gotta purge that.
Unacceptable.
You feel
shut that part down.
You feel your body, rocking back and forward a little bit, and you do feel more relaxed when you come back. All those damn feelings have subsided.
Forget that. She goes back in and just grabs the pendant back, puts it in her sack. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. I was like, woo! Okay.
No, not quite that. Not quite that much of a transformation.
All right. Okay. So Finney says, should I... okay, everyone's spruced up now.
So the comforters on the bed or anything like that, I want to lay one out, preferably the better of the two.
Better of the two? Okay. Finney looked like he was about to try to scoop the bones into his rucksack.
No. I'm gonna basically I don't know if I caught that or not, but
yeah, he opened the rucksack.
No, I want to cover them up in something that meant something to them in life. Just as much.
Should we take...
And if you want to help me, do it with reverence, lad.
Should we take both?
I think I'm going to keep them together.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to put them, I mean, they're going to kind of get, kind of balled up one way or the other, but I'm going to bring the bones, put them on the comforter, and then kind of, bring them more or less kind of where they were. And then, again, with some reverence, probably even saying a little bit, kind of prayer as I go, kind of close it up, and then so that they're held together.
Okay. Done. Where to from here?
All right, kids. It's time for an adventure. I hope you're ready.
I don't know if I'll ever be ready for whatever the hell is in that basement. This was bad enough.
I think whatever's down there has got it coming. That's my feeling on it.
All right, you're right.
Is this during the short rest, or are we done?
Just about done.
Just about done. Okay.
Was there anything else that y'all wanted to do?
Ogier was gonna say something, but if this is during short rest, she's almost kind of like nodding off and slight napping just outside the door, so she doesn't know any of that is happening.
Okay. God, I forgot what I was gonna say. It'll come back to me. Okay. So you collect yourselves. You have your comforter, O Bones, and where are we headed from there? You want to go?
What do you make of that? What do you make of that house? That house there, lass? Anything?
Who are you asking?
Who are you talking
Taxi.
to? Oh.
Well, she already found the secret door. So, yeah, actually, I'm gonna go see.
The secret door is also in there?
And she walks out of the room and then walks down just like the 15 feet to
Should we clear other rooms first?
Might learn a little bit more about what's going on.
Leave
No.
nothing unchecked.
This is just some kind of storage room, and she opens the door into it.
There's no such thing as just a storage room in this house.
And
You're
it
gonna
was
get hit in the
just a
face
broom,
by a
and
pillow.
it was just a suit of armor.
Well, if I see any armor or brooms, if I see any armor, I'm running. If I see any brooms, I'm not touching them. Besides, I already have my lavender soap.
Hope it's worth it.
And she's going into, she went 15 feet down the hallway, and she's going into what you know is the storage room
Where the door
from the
is.
dollhouse, yeah. And then kind of muffled, found it!
I have a little map.
I just head out the door and head over toward where she is because I'm scared she's gonna get fucking hit in the face by some inanimate object.
Okay, all right.
I will carry the
Bag of bone.
Carry the bag of
Carrying the
bones.
kiddos.
bones. Like
The bag o' bones.
I'm like one
and
one white beard away from looking like Santa Claus at this point. All right.
Actually, now that you've had the dollhouse and you can look, I don't mind if y'all unfold just that half, so you can see the first floor, second floor, third floor, and attic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a reminder of how creepy it looks on the front.
Well, that's kind of why I love the visual. Do you have one, Caitlin?
Yeah, she's buried.
Yeah, that way we
Borrowing
can
his
really
stuff.
see that
Okay.
one part where there's the secret stairs.
Yep.
All the way through.
And you can see it all the way through. No, they did an excellent job on this house.
I love me some maps.
Um,
Maps are nice.
Maps are nice.
Okay. So, yeah, that's-
Storage room. This dusty chamber is packed with old furniture. So there are chairs, coat racks, standing mirrors, dress mannequins, and the like. All draped in dusty white sheets. Nothing like a good mannequin. Near an iron stove. Underneath one of the sheets. Which... Okay, so I guess, yeah, you guys are still checking things out. So there's an iron stove in here. You know from the dollhouse, though, that there is a steamer trunk in here, and that is about where it would be. And other than that, you see this door that looks to have be a very similar, actually identical to the dollhouse, where you press it in, and then you can. Artexia used her fingernails and those beautiful glittering nails,
Oh, right?
and then pulled what little lip of the door there was out.
Farron just gave up hundreds of gold pieces worth of loot, so she's headed straight to that trunk, just praying there's something decent in there.
Okay. You go over to the trunk, and as you open it, it's an unlocked wooden trunk, and you see a tattered bedsheet stained with dry blood that's been wrapped around a figure.
God damn it, this is gross.
And
Look, more dead people.
Morgathy said, "Oh, I've always wanted to redecorate in corpse. Yes." He goes,
This is up on the third
in the storage room. Yeah. He goes over there. Well, what do we have here? You know, Farron, you really do just have a talent for finding these things, don't you? And he reaches in and takes the bundle out with a fair bit of skill. Places it down and starts unwrapping it.
Oh, wow. Once again, Mark. The
Right?
presses. Okay.
Ooh, someone did not like you, girl. Oh no, look at this.
I'm guessing this might be their
21 stabs to the pelvis region. That is with scoring. Here's a serrated edge. See, she doesn't have.
God.
Someone took a cleaver. Someone took a cleaver to this hand. Ooh, this is just. Oof.
So,
really a-
multiple weapons.
Apparently, which would tell me it's probably multiple people, or one very determined person.
Does it look like a
female.
adult-sized female?
Yeah.
Are there still, like,
Can we see
clothes
the
on
face or
person?
anything?
You can't see. You can't really tell the face, and they're just they're tattered remains of clothing. But
Jewelry? I'm just kidding.
but it does.
I'm not gonna loot the corpse, I promise.
But as you're looking, Gira, since you asked that specific question and you have already seen the nursemaid, you see what looks like could have been the tattered remnants of her clothing.
My baby ghost. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Our BFF.
Baby.
Well,
This place just gets more and more fucked up with everything we open.
so he then starts
Kira's gonna look in the trunk and see if there's anything else.
repackaging. You do not. You don't see anything else. There's some blood stains in there, other than blood stains. So was it the mother then, who chopped up this poor unfortunate and put her in a steamer trunk in the attic? Whew.
Was it the cult?
And they called me morbid. What's that?
The cult?
The coat.
Cult.
You know, a cult
CULT.
like you were talking
The
about.
cult.
Oh, he says.
A group of people.
Oh, I just love
In the
moments.
robes.
I love moments like that. I really do. It reminds us of how large and beautiful the world is. He says, "Really, I will have to tell you about the so-called College of Mysteries sometime. This is ever more entertaining, even if it's."
Technically, battles are the same thing as group killings.
Hold
She's
that.
just kind of like...
Hold that
Deep
thought.
moments
Yes.
with Gira.
She kind of goes like, oh. She has a little moment.
Finney starts laughing. Artexia gives you this weird look and like, oh, okay.
I'm not sure I put that in the philosophy book just yet, lass.
So
I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same. Now she's trying to convince herself.
she looks around. I wish.
Not the same.
Artexia says, "I wish we had a human here. I would have a question to ask them right about now, but
How about half?
well, I doubt you know the answer."
I also
Okay.
have.
I am trained as a diplomat to humans and elves. I know a lot about both, so
Diplomat, really?
yeah.
Okay.
My father is human.
Well then.
Another half. With our halves combined, you have a human.
Oh, we have one human.
She holds a
together.
fist out.
Okay.
Halfsies.
Cool. Okay, what do you want to know?
Well, is this just? I mean, do humans just run? I mean, I've spent my entire life in Haven, so I really haven't been around humans very much. Do they just run around chopping each other up if the parentage is wrong? Like, is this a normal thing?
Do elves ever kill? Does any race ever kill anybody? I mean,
Well, her wisdom doesn't allow elves to kill elves, and it just never.
Kira's gonna get a little bit in his face. Humans.
Oh, this is Artexia.
Oh, and that asked if humans run around killing
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
Humans are people.
Well, of course they're a kind of people, but people are different. I mean, the elves, have you ever heard of an elf killing another elf over wrong parentage? I mean, it's just not the kind of thing that we do.
not the kind of thing you've ever heard of.
Not the kind of thing we do.
Look, people are like soup. They're a bunch of different
that in the book.
things all mixed together, but they're all soup. You can have this soup, and you can have that soup. You can have beef stew. You can have this soup. And they're all soup.
Ooh, Finny says
the
beef
same,
stew.
but
I want
different.
some beef stew. You're making me hungry, Gira.
I know, I just made me hungry. I understand.
Morgathi says, all right, so are we going down this God's forsaken thing or not? He's
Well,
poking
unless-
around at the door.
The only thing I feel like I've left undone if we're not ready to go down these stairs is to either see what was left down in the parents' bedroom. Maybe there's more there that we might discover. Or perhaps back to the library, specifically looking for whatever cult might be a part of this house. This damn place.
Artexia says, I want to just keep going. The sooner we get this over with, the better. And
The sooner we can eat.
Then just press on.
Rabbit stew.
a little bit more subdued. Finny's like nodding sagely with you. A little bit more
With
subdued.
sage.
Morgathi says, so I'm running into I hate to admit this, but I'm running into a bit of a problem. My problem is that nothing I can do seems to matter here. So I come from a fine lineage of necromancers, and it doesn't really seem to be apropos. The poison, the necrotic energies, these creatures are just shrugging it off. So, I mean, how... I don't want to be useless as... how did my uncultured friend once put it, my uncultured colleague once put it, useless as tits on a boar hog? So...
You know how to hit something? Do you have a weapon?
Well, I do. But it's also... Well, yes, gauche. To just run up in something and start whacking away. Decades of my life dedicated to this craft. And here I am, just caught up short. I'm having a bit of a moment as I just contemplated it and realized it. Yeah. Well, any suggestions?
Hit the thing with whatever you have.
Well, you saw what it did to the
Works
armor.
for me.
I whipped out my strongest spell right off the bat, and
Can you do something to make the other of us here more effective?
he thinks about it for a second. Probably, as the GM looks up the parameters of a certain spell.
If same attacks not work, then you must try something different.
I mean, I have the same problem.
Shift perspective.
You seem to have been more effective, though.
I think, if nothing else, I might have an idea. If you're not able to directly affect what's going on, your job will be to keep the rest of us aware of what's going on. You seem to be keenly eyed.
Most elves are. Well,
How are your battle tactics? Would you be able to call out? Would you be able to call out and coordinate with us?
I wouldn't want to try to be that ambitious. I'm no battle master. As to being able to aid the rest of you, unfortunately, the only thing that I can think of, I can empower myself with a sort of false life. But well, if it comes to it, I suppose I'll just be a spear chucker. And he rolls his eyes.
False life.
Yes. It'll keep you going for longer than you should be able to go. So many questions.
Well, we can use them as a meat shield then.
Yes, I know. I'm sure you love the idea, but it's just, anyway. There are all kinds of things that I could go on about, but really the long and the short of it is, I'm just not a good fit for this nasty little, whatever it is, house. Didn't somebody say valley, that we were in some sort of valley or something?
That's what the kids said.
Anyway.
Can't see very far outside.
You say that as if any of us are like a great fit for this house in this valley, dude. Nobody is like thrilled to be here. Nobody feels super comfortable and effective. So I don't know why you think you're special right now.
Well, one, of course I'm special just because I'm Morgathi of the Grove, but two, people like him show up and he's an emissary of the Morninglord. So he's going to be directly effective with whatever he does, any sort of radiant abilities you have, lurking about in that under that calm facade of yours. Those will be effective. I mean, your language is spoken everywhere. Business end of an axe. I'll just do what I can do. I'm just telling you. I'm not going to be at my best here.
Well, if it comes to it, and you need to smash something in with a staff or, well, stab it with your daggers, then I won't tell anyone after the fact.
You'd best not. I suppose I should get out with this thing. And he draws the longsword with the windmill on it. Okay, y'all are going down. What's your... as you look, you see these... exactly, Caitlin, it's the McDonald's slide that goes down. It's a very tight, rickety wooden stairway that you enter, starting all the way up at the attic.
There's no fun button you push and it turns
And descending,
into
and just... You just slide. Sorry, wrong death house.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Who's the... since you can only go one at a time,
Yep.
what's the marching order?
That's going to be important.
Gira is fine with going first. I imagine Finny is... I don't know if Finny is suspecting that there's traps, in which case he might kind of just slide
Having
past
him
me.
up front is going to matter if that's going to be a thing we need to think about.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to put him up front if he's able to.
He's willing.
Or at least second.
Second. Do you want
First or
Finny-
second?
do
I
you
don't
want
want
Finny
Gira
behind
to
you, or what?
step on a bed.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that Finny and Gira have run into a situation like that before, where they're not sure if they need the meat shield front or the trap.
I assume
Hunter
I
first?
assume you're bringing that up because we don't necessarily know that Finny's capable of doing any of that stuff yet. We haven't.
Yeah, she
we
will.
haven't-
They just
we
look
haven't
at each other.
compared. We haven't compared notes yet.
They just look at each
Yeah,
other.
probably it's just a look, and Garrett goes, traps? And it's like a whole conversation, and Finny's just kind of like...
He shrugs.
And then they kind of...
He waits for you
She'll
to-
kind of nod for him to go first.
Okay.
Because I like the idea that they have this thing, and they probably run into the situation before. He's immediately in front of her. But because he's so small,
You can attack.
and she can just literally grab him and throw him behind her.
See how they're right next to each other?
Yeah.
Buddies.
Just
Okay,
pick
who's-
him up and throw him over her shoulder.
Who's next?
All right.
Someone who can take
wanna-
a Finny in the face.
I'm going to see if I can find a way to get the bag of bones, as it were, strapped around so that I don't.
You have some
hold it
rope.
with my hands.
You have some rope, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So you can rig up something. You can rig up something with that. Sure.
It's gonna. I mean,
Kira will come over and
It'll
help.
make me a little awkward, but I'll at least be able to hold a shield in my hand.
It's a backpack.
And if she sees you struggling, she'll just come over. I help you. And then kind of help position it in a way that's totally out of the way of your arm range. So you can use your shield and your arms and everything. So it's behind, because that's hard for you to do. It's hard for anyone to do
Yep.
on their own, is get it directly behind and packed and secured.
Especially in armor. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Who's the third?
I'm gonna guess that Morgathi's at the end because he's just talking about how useless he is. So I'm gonna go behind Gira because I want to be as far away from him as possible right now. He's annoying the shit out of me.
Okay.
And then maybe you'd be with me.
Sure.
So
Artexia and Morgathi argue about who's going to be at the back of the group. And I have a feeling that he would carp enough that Kenzie would get tired of it and be willing to be at the back. He does run. He runs back, and for whatever reason, he gathers up.
He's one of the people carrying the light source, right?
Yeah. So
Finny had a light
Finny-
No,
source.
it was Artexia. who-
Vinny has a light source, and Artexia has a light source. Those are the two. Yeah. And her light source is her flame. Or no, she had decided to go with the. That's right. She had decided to go with the oil wick, although she can make the flame at will. Okay. So Morg ran back in there, and as you were getting ready, he doesn't debate this with anybody. He doesn't explain it. He just grabs the nursemaid's bones and bundles them together. And he's so big, like I said, 6'5", because he looks like a Tolkien high elf, even though he's not ? You're actually not sure like what his lineage is, but he looks like he belongs in the capital. And he quickly ties it around. And the way he's handling the bones, he's like no stranger to these things.
A stranger to
To
dead bodies and bones.
Yeah.
He's a necromancer.
Yeah, he said he's a necromancer. So,
Surprising you shared that.
He looks at a dead thing and goes,
Interesting.
so he takes that and then he just he tucks her away. Her
I kind of nod at him. Good lad.
I have a thing about it's awful to just to contemplate her sitting in there. And then he runs back and gets in place. Okay.
Between you and me, I hope I don't keep finding these. I'm running out of the back space.
I think that's a nice thought.
Hey.
And as you go down there, as you pass this threshold, or you're like working yourselves up, all of you have a moment where you're looking at each other. You feel a force rippling through each of you, and yet in one of those moments, one of those rare moments, you have an entire collection of Chosen. So for our faraway friends, Chosen are essentially in any of the worlds that I ever run, even though I'm running this largely rules as written, Chosen are characters who can level. So it's how I explain their superhuman abilities, the fact that higher level characters can take multiple axes to the face, etc., and be fine. And they can do things that nobody else can. So in the vast majority of High Terra, maybe 1 in 500,000 or something people are Chosen. So they can, everybody else is stuck at 0 level or 1st level forever. And at this moment, your nature, your shared chosen nature, which is saying something, is revealed as this ripple of power goes through your chosen quintessence. They're rising in response to the horror of the moment. And all of you feel a rush of power and energy, of vitality, and kind of like Artexia gasps, and he's like, "Wah!" and Morgathi staggers, and it's like, fascinating. I always knew I had it in me. I just knew it. How do the three of you react to leveling up to 2?
Do we ding?
No, you
Is there a little glowy thing?
and maybe in your inner ear you ding.
I just make eye contact with Durgan and I just like look at him and then I just give him a little nod.
For you specifically, Durgan,
It's a spiritual thing.
You would feel the Morninglord's grace for the first time, loud and clear. It fades quickly, but it doesn't fade as much. Like it roars up in you, and then it fades back down, but it's still more present than it was.
He gives thanks
Before. And Gira?
She kind of like takes it. It feels like a almost, I don't want to say the word blood rush, but for lack of a better word,
Okay.
kind of that feeling you get right before going into battle, like your adrenaline's up.
For sure.
But it's not in a, oh no, something's going to happen, we got to get ready. It's a
like
different...
an exhilaration.
Yeah, it's an exhilaration. So like her whole body just feels stronger, and she feels like she just got refreshed or whatever. It's kind of along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will pause the tale there then and go to intermission. You'll want to roll and get the mechanical leveling stuff when we get back.
Sure.
Do that.
All right.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So, faraway friends, thank you so much for getting to this point with us, and stay with us on the back end of intermission. Bye.
Eldritch Foundry is evolving. bringing you a virtual army of miniatures like never before in full tabletop-ready color. Paint your miniatures in our upgraded creation tool, then bring them to life in stunning one-to-one detail as 3D printed miniature masterpieces. With complete control over your digital color scheme, you can point and click for simple color fills or go all in on highlights, shading, brush techniques, and more. Create epic heroes and madness-touched monsters that are truly yours. Miniatures are 3D printed in perfect color detail using a new PolyJet 3D printing process, giving you unique, bespoke models ready to delve into any dungeon as part of your next campaign. Everything from one-off player characters to dungeon mobs and boss-level monsters that will make every player in your group jealous. But that's not all. You can take things fully digital and export into leading VTT platforms such as Tailspire and Roll20 to take your games and your custom miniatures wherever you want. Join the adventure of a lifetime. Back our campaign today to help us bring this stunning revolution in custom miniature design to reality. With Eldritch Foundry, full-color 3D design and printing.
Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to Constructed Chaos, a channel dedicated to all things D&D, including live play streams and podcasts, 3D printing, painting, crafting, homebrew content, and guides for players and dungeon masters alike. Join our Discord for even more special benefits, announcements, and free downloadable content. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
Our way friends, welcome back. We are still stuck in the Valley of Barovia. Yay!
We are?
I know.
What do you mean?
No,
You said this was a stairway to salvation.
It's actually all just a bad dream. It's a side of beef that wasn't quite
Not well cooked.
wasn't quite there. Yep. All right. So you have this.
It's an awful dream, and you were there.
Oh, we have a candle of tales relit. Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Let's do it.
Relighting.
light
Let's
the
do it.
fire.
The fire. A
Let's
lot harder with these nails.
do
let me
it.
tell ya.
We have faith in you.
As you should. I'm very
You can
skilled.
do it.
All right, it's done.
See, there you go.
It's done.
Fuego.
The act is
That
done.
went fast.
Like quick. It does like quick. I'll grant you that.
I use my burning hands.
Yeah, I hope not. That'd be it.
And the whole table erupts in flame.
Poor Melissa.
Get
and
the
I
one
think,
candle.
I lit it.
Everything.
So yeah, you have this. You're coming down this wooden spiral staircase that seems like it can barely hold your weight, your combined weights.
Rude.
And yeah, Finney's pausing. There you go.
Never.
GM in her own right. Over there.
She got them sounds.
Finney's pausing every so often. And
Why you don't
Checking ahead.
Let your cults do your building.
kneeling down, poking at things with his short sword. And
Like Finney's Jew.
quick point of order for my continuity freaks. The very first session, I had said Morgathi was 6 feet, but because of the character that I'm basing him on, I'm keeping him closer to the original material, so hence the Tolkien-esque 6'5".
So don't write anything in the
character
comments about his height.
About his height. I mean,
Soft red.
No height
that
haters.
kind of stuff irritates me, so I just like it when the people running it like acknowledge
Address the
that.
height issue.
No, they do, because all characters should have heights, and actually weights too, so the GM can keep that in mind.
That way you know who bumps their head on the Hobbit chandelier.
It's true. Yeah, so
information.
y'all go past what you feel like would be the first floor. You continue on.
Is there a similar like cold in this staircase
It's-
like there is in the other staircase?
Not
Wait, are we still leveling up?
not the same.
He takes it back.
Not the same. No, we are no. You are leveling. You are leveling.
I got lost. I was like, wait, am I supposed to have already done this?
No, we're gonna do part of it we did off stream, but we're actually gonna roll for hit points on stream.
Well, you can be afraid with me.
So no, it's not cold the way that it was in the staircase, but it is kind of a more normal, earthy, clammy situation going on, and that's our Candle of Tales really wants to be told here.
It's telling a tale.
There you go. It is telling a tale.
It's trying to burn us out.
And
Smoke us out of the
Durgan,
studio.
you feel like you've gone. You kind of intuitively know that you've gone. You've broken ground here. You've gone past 0 feet in elevation, and you're going under. And it continues.
Dwarven powers
Continue
activated.
on,
Yay.
continue on for a bit more. The cobwebs are so thick, and they fill. Geez, that's crazy. Okay, they fill the shaft. I missed that on my read through. They reduce visibility on the staircase to 5 feet. So you're just blundering into one cobweb after the other. So, and in that case, then Finney's like, and, stopping and poking a lot more. So it actually takes y'all a while to go down here because he's not going to be satisfied of just blindly going down. Okay, so let's see, Farron, you're sticking with the spell we had talked about. I know you have some extra spells.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and, at least on stream, let's go ahead and roll hit points. I rolled for Morgathi already. I'm not going to roll for Atexia. I'll wait for her. I'll wait for Kenzie to come back. And then, are you rolling or are you going with the selection?
I'm gonna roll.
You're going to roll?
All right.
Okay.
You got this,
Is
Melissa.
everybody going together?
I'm gonna roll.
Is everyone rolling
Just for
together?
clarity.
Oh Lord, we're all rolling.
Okay.
We're all rolling.
Okay, do it.
Use each other's power.
Not taking any
Each
averages
other's
here.
quintessence. Come on. Go. All right.
Alright.
I'll take it.
All right.
Aw.
What?
I got a 3.
You got a 3? Okay, well, you didn't get a 2.
No,
said
I didn't
you'd
get a 2. That's
You said
true.
you'd be mad if you got a 2.
I would. Now I'm just mildly upset.
What are you looking for?
Let's see. Yeah, because the average was 6. I was like, oh,
Six.
do I hope for better than
it's under
6 or take the average? It's okay.
It's always more fun.
I do get to add my Constitution, which
do.
is not half bad. So
you do.
So I rolled a 7.
You rolled a 7.
I was hoping to break that 20 hit point though.
And
What are you at?
19.
19. So Durgan, what does that put you at?
so 7, 8, 9, 10 for the con, and then 11 more. So that puts me at 23.
23. Okay.
All
Your
right.
dwarven self.
He's tough.
It's a good thing you're also a tank.
I rolled a 4 out of 6. Not terrible. Do
Because
I add anything else?
the
Do I add another modifier?
fighter
A con?
has less
con
health than the
modifier.
quick.
Okay, so another 3. So that's I'm at
Probably not gonna last
16.
forever.
Just a
Probably not.
beefy girl. Okay.
16, BB.
For that,
Noise. And I'm rolling for Finny.
and you are rolling for Finny.
All right.
What is
dice.
Finny's?
Oh, that's right there.
We're gonna
Come on,
roll.
the
The
D6
rogue's got a
over
buff,
here.
and
this
Almost
used to be a
pathetic
D4.
and- I know. That's why I was ready to roll. And I rolled a lot of 1s back in the day on that.
Got a
thing.
5.
Got a 5? Okay.
All right.
5 plus con.
Yep.
That's respectable.
That's pretty strong. Okay, great.
All right.
So you arrive at the bottom level here, and you'll have to, audience, you'll have to forgive me. We're still working out how I want to deal with the maps on a proper dungeon crawl. But I'll be standing up periodically and probably opening that up, and then players, I know you can't see anything over the binders right now. But as it happens, it's fairly easy to describe. So you come down. There is no door here. You just come down like a normal, for once, just a normal stairway. And as soon as you get, I won't keep describing this again and again, but maybe periodically remind you. Essentially, this entire complex down here is ribbed with supports. So you have, think of a mine shaft, and you have structures that are holding the roof up. You're looking at hard-packed earth. It's damp, quiet, and immediately as you touch the ground down here, you can hear just this eerie, incessant chanting that's going on.
Oh, really?
It sounds pretty far off in the distance, but think kind of Gregorian-esque chanting, kind of almost like it's mumbled or sub-vocalized, at least at this distance.
I guess even a broken clock is right twice a day, Morgathy.
He just stares at you, but doesn't say anything. And you, map's a bit irregular. You have a short hallway, which I appreciate. They didn't make everything exactly perfect in increments of 5 feet. There's a short hallway, branches out left, right. Important, there is no lighting down here. So you now are confined to either dark vision or light source. Yep. And I think who doesn't have dark vision?
Finney's the only one.
Down here, I think Finney's it. Yeah.
And he's got his little light, so.
He has his little light, and y'all's dark vision is only, I know for the elves it's 60 feet. For you it's 60 feet as well. I believe. Yeah. Garrett. Okay.
Same.
And then dwarves 60 feet also. Yeah. All right, so we're all in an even playing field. So even when Finney, because torchlight's only, I think it's 20 and 20 out. I'm pretty sure 20 bright, 20 dim, so it's out to 40 feet. So even when he snuffs it to not like destroy y'all's dark vision, and you can see further, it's still only getting you an extra 20 feet. But as you look left, it looks like there are a couple of kind of crawling passageways that split off from each other, and then as you look down right, that goes a considerably further distance, and it opens into some sort of larger room. And you think you can make out, if you do the trick, actually, it's just the light's still enough, even without covering it. It looks like there's the beginning, or that it's catching the edge of a large table that's down there. And there's some sort of debris that's strewn about on the floor that's difficult to tell exactly what it is from this distance. Aside from the chanting, you don't hear like creature noises, you don't hear people walking around. I'm going to give this group credit and say that because you have Finney in the lead right now. So he's like, and he like closes his eyes and he just listens for a good long
Kira
while.
has proficiency in perception as well, so she'll be keeping an eye out along with him.
Okay.
And seeing what she can a little farther than the torchlight, if she can.
Okay.
So there's just a way to the right, or is there also a way to the left or straight ahead?
They're both straight aheads. You're at a T intersection and you're teeing into it, so there's nothing straight ahead. I'll get up and I'll reveal a little bit here in a bit. But essentially your main decision is, do you head toward that bigger room that's maybe 50 feet down to your right, or do you want to investigate these little smaller winding passages off to your left?
Can we tell which direction the chanting is coming from?
Mm-mm. It's just kind of bouncing.
Echoing around.
Kind of bouncing around right now. Yeah.
Most likely, I would think the bigger chamber.
And remember, since you're having to go single file right now, really only Finney and Gara are making decisions.
Are we still in the stairwell, or is just the passageway is really narrow here?
Several of I'd say the back three of you are on the stairwell. Yeah.
So we've just landed.
Yeah, you just landed. Gara's having
Probably
this
towards
decision.
the more open space.
Okay.
The little passages are going to get confusing real quick. So her mindset is, at least, let's get oriented to where we are.
Okay.
In case this is bigger than just a couple rooms.
Make a perception check on the debris before you head out that way.
That is a dirty 20.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely filthy debris.
You
So much debris.
you narrow your eyes and really stare at it, and you're in this weird kind of half dark vision, half dim torchlight situation, and you're pretty sure what you're staring at are various types and collections, piles of bones. So, are you still heading that way?
To the bone room.
Does she hear anything else?
Just the chanting. Some.
Who's immediately behind her? It's Farron, and then Durgan, and then Morgathi. She will kind of over her shoulder. More bones ahead.
Oh, God.
Just so everybody behind her has a heads up.
Morgathi sighs.
Durgan will just sort of quietly look back at Morgathi and Kathy and just kind of give that acknowledging nod.
Here's a shock. And Artexia is like pushing. Quit pushing. I want to see, and you're too tall. Because she's still stuck on
she's
stuck
the
in the
caboose.
stairway. Yeah, she's the caboose right now. Okay, so Finny shrugs and heads right, and I think I'll do most of the standing. Sorry, Sydney, if I make you chase me up and down, but trying to get this going. Can ignore that. You can ignore that. We'll do it this way. Yay! Giving away too much, but okay. As you're coming down. Oh yeah, I can't do that. They do flaps of paper or something next time. As you're coming down, these blue ones. Actually, Melissa, it's kind of good that you're at the front of the group because you can see it better than they can.
Actually see something.
Okay, yeah,
You can
that's
see it,
true.
and they really couldn't see past you very well. So you're just like, you're trying to look side to side.
She is a little bit of a wall.
All of these blue, yeah, and these passages are narrow. All of these blue ones are wooden columns, like slender wooden pillars or columns that are contributing to this ribbing that's holding up everything. Again, think mine shaft.
Does the walls and stuff, does this look like a rough space, like a mine? Or is this more like a finished cellar with just a packed earth floor? Because the house was pretty nice for it to suddenly turn into
It was, and you
a rough dungeon.
you're seeing the wooden bracing that's kind of going, or ribbing rather, that's going down up and down these hallways, and pretty much as you get to an intersection, this one, so maybe 20 feet down, you get to this intersection, and it looks like, again, you have left, right, and it kind of splits off on both sides into two different parallel tracks. And then...
Before the room?
Before the room, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, boop, boop, there and there.
Are they rooms off to the side or more hallways? Ah, okay.
So, as you glance down and kind of, just quickly take stock, you're seeing some sort of slabs in place. So these green guys are slabs. And Finny naturally wants to poke around in these little side chambers, but I imagine, Gira, you keep hurting him, or do you? Do you want to?
If it's a very short distance, like 5 or 10 feet max into the side, then she could kind of, halt, and then.
And then Finny will.
Yeah, because it's not a bad idea to, slightly check a little bit on each side when stuff starts opening up.
He whispers to you, "These are the family crypts." And since he's right-handed, he went to the right. He looked at it, holding up. Did he have a torch, or did he snag one of the lanterns that was inside of the house? It was one of the lamps in the house. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so he's actually be more like this for him, as he as he's looking up in that crypt. He says, oh, "This is Roosevelt's crypt. I bet you that other one has thorn bolts."
And she'll kind of peek in. Is it empty?
The slabs, he does slide.
Is a lid on?
He does slide out a crowbar, but you're looking at these big metal slabs of stone that you're going to have to move. So you're not actually looking at a sarcophagus yet or a coffin. You're just looking at a slab. They are heavy, solid. That looks like it can be pivoted a bit, at least enough to open up for a coffin.
Yeah, this is worth taking a look at for a minute.
Okay.
Y'all.
Dues.
And she'll pass that back down.
Okay. Finney hands you his crowbar.
Yeah, she'll step into the little space. Kind of put up her axe for a second. So she's got a free hand and probably take the crowbar.
You know, before crowbars, crows just had to bring it home.
I'm leaving.
This is
Been fun, guys.
This is the end.
I quit.
Durgan, you're okay blocking on the other side.
But in England, they were called crow pubs.
Oh my gosh. I'm out.
Okay. There's another quick squabble between Artexia and Morgathia about who's on the outside. And as usual, Morgathia is bitchier, so he wins. And
We're in a contained space
You're
now,
in
an actual room with 4 walls.
You're in a long
ish.
hallway, and then there's
Ish.
like a little room right next to the hallway.
There.
So we're not in that room yet. We're just
No.
No, you're in the hallway,
Or
but
the room.
like crypt. There.
Okay, and you are
Yeah. I was gonna just check little rooms and then keep going, but then we
Checking-
ran into.
But then this is Rose's
This
crypt.
is Rose's
Yeah.
Oh, we
crypt.
might want to pause for
Yeah, this one is Rose's crypt. Okay, so Finney hands you the crowbar. Do you want to use it to pry the stone a bit, like? Shh.
She'll like put it up in there, and then she'll kind of go like, and then turn around and try to make eyes with Durgan.
Okay.
To see if he has any reaction of like, please don't do this, just in case. So
Durgan?
she's gonna kind of read your.
he'll kind of.
Okay, or at least the other fighter.
I mean, as far as I'm
big tanky
concerned,
fighter is ready
they're not
just
in
in
there.
case. They shouldn't be. So she'll continue. She'll go ahead and wrench it gently.
Make a with advantage because you have the crowbar. Make an athletics check.
Yes.
Doesn't mean there's not something that's going to jump out and get us.
Nope.
Could be.
That's going to be
Looks pretty good from here.
a 21.
Yep. Looks pretty good from here. Okay.
Destroys the stand.
In a controlled manner.
There we go. That's what I was like.
You
Just doing this carefully.
Trying to make a bunch of noise.
Where's my 20? Gotta put them 20s up.
That D20 has no 20
That's
on it.
the trick.
Okay, the room beyond has a small little stone coffin with no lid, and you are now in where it was supposed to be Rosavalda's final resting place.
Should we?
What's in there? What do you see?
Does she want to be here?
This is her resting spot. Put her bones here.
I'm gonna. I guess everyone's kind of looking at me, so I will. I'm gonna enter the room.
She's kind of looking at the
Okay.
group. How does the group
And,
feel about this?
I'm gonna try to sort of just like, I don't know, kind of find a peaceful moment.
The cleric asserts
Do a little
himself.
pray, do a little praying, and just sort of like ask for guidance, as it were. maybe, I don't know if they'll respond or not. I mean, we have their bones, but I'm going to just sort of...
Do you have the guidance cantrip?
I do.
Okay. That
Wants to be guided.
you feel that,
It.
and so with that, go ahead and make a religion check.
That is
For some reason, it looks like a die 12 from here, but it's a die 20.
It's not.
Although people have done that before.
Oh, I got a 12.
Only a 12.
Like, why are you rolling so badly? And then I look over there and it's a die 12. Like, really?
That's a 20.
20? Okay.
A grody 20.
The grubbiest.
The grubbiest of 20s.
Grubbiest of 20.
The filthiest of 20s with
Dustiest,
guidance.
cobwebbiest.
Whenever surcease is to be found in this hellish place, you sense that it's here, that this is probably as good of a resting place as anywhere you're going to find for these poor tortured children. It doesn't feel like this specific spot doesn't feel evil or compromised.
Okay. Wow, okay. I thought I was going to be carrying them a lot longer than this.
I did too. You just went to exactly the right places.
Love it when that happens.
Okay. Then, how about, is there just the one coffin?
In here, mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you know that there's another stone slab that was opposite hers.
Then I will start making preparations to get them transferred.
Kira, let's open the other one up.
So well, first I'll help him at least untie the bundle from his
Okay,
back.
that makes sense. Yeah.
And then she'll go with the crowbar over to the other one.
Matt, check that first. Just
Oh,
to make
okay.
sure.
So you're opening the other one.
Open the, yeah.
Make with advantage. Make that
I don't know.
athletics check again.
In this damn place, the coffin could come to life.
Finney's just SOP. Finney's just.
It's
gonna
a
say-
natural 20.
Okay.
She roll opens it.
Plus 5.
I'm gonna say, even though technically you're supposed to, for all of these, you're supposed to make these checks. I'm gonna say with the nat 20 and the crowbar, you kind of have what's your strength?
Well, athletics I'm proficient and it's a plus 5.
Plus
So
5.
that's a 25.
And your strength is 16.
Strength is a 17, so it's a
17.
plus 3.
So yeah, with the 17 strength and the skill that goes along with that, with the proficiency, I'm going to say you basically, Melissa, have your technique of how to open these things now. And since they're pretty much all built in a very similar line, you're going to be able to apply that same sort of lean and pull technique with all of these. So unless you're exhausted or something, I'm not going to make you roll again. Like, it's tedious. Okay, so you and Finney crack this one open then as well. And indeed, it's labeled Thornbolt Durst on it. Okay, you have Rosavalda's remains.
And it's empty.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's smaller. You can see it's smaller. It's smaller.
Wow. Okay.
Little boxes.
Which tells you something.
It does tell us something.
Yeah.
Good things. Jesus. Okay.
And
That's an answer to one of the questions we had.
so you do have the remains somewhat together at this point. Do you want to set the comforter out and try to separate one from the other?
So do you want to set the comforter out?
Okay.
I'm trying to decide if it would be better to separate them or to kind of let them mingle for eternity, as it were.
You have no intuitive sense about
Yeah,
that.
because this was built for them, but not. This may not be what they want.
But it almost mirrors their little beds. You know? Where they would
There's
lay
walls in
face each
between.
other.
True. Both of you have points.
Morgathy, what do you think? You're the one who knows a lot about dead stuff.
Well, I think they already told us, eh?
That they were together.
Gira's gonna go over to Thornbolt's inside the little room and his little little box.
Dark.
She's gonna test lift it to see how heavy it is, to see if she could move it, if we could move the boxes.
One inside the other.
Yeah, I want it so that they're at least in the same room.
If you had some help from another person to get the leverage on the other side, you could lift it, and then you might even be able to manhandle it to orc handle it yourself.
Yeah.
But it's easier if you have another point of leverage.
I could do it, but it
Yeah.
would take
If
a lot
I see her
longer.
going over and attempting, I'll go around the other side.
Okay.
So after the kind of test lift, she'll come out to the rest of everybody and be like, this place was built for them, but not by kind people. It was not built with kindness. What if we moved slightly to put them together?
I think together is what I would do. I mean, before we found this place, which I did not expect to find, my intention was to keep them together all along. So yeah.
Then he says, "Well, somebody likes us. We got lucky. See, you just have to keep me alive, and you'll always be lucky." He grins.
We're gonna need it.
So do you bring Thornbolt's casket into?
Will it fit
Into the crypt.
Will it fit inside the other?
the roses?
I think so. Yeah.
What's the space? So is this like one rectangular room with two? I see there's like a space in between.
Yeah. No. These are individual little
What's
little rooms.
What's the thing in between? Is that just
Earth.
solid wall?
Earth. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to call you Durgan.
You've been clawed by God. It's the Morninglord, just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if we could like set them bring the both of them out, and then just set the sealed walls that I just took off and kind of set them down so the names are identifying them, but they're in the same room.
Same room, even in like the same coffin.
So okay. So do you want to take them? Do you want to take everything out into this little antechamber, or do you want to put both into roses?
Or do we want to just make this simple and put them both in roses?
I think putting, at the very least, bringing. I guess we can do this in character. Bring at least the coffin in here. Rosa was always the one looking out for the two of them.
Alright, I go and get the other side of it so I can help
Okay.
carry it over.
Okay.
If it will fit inside of hers, then we can do that. If not, I think together.
What's your character strength?
13?
13? Oh yeah.
It might be you and me.
Okay.
13.
No, 13's fine. No,
13's
you're strong.
respectable,
You're strong. So
actually.
okay. The two chosen grab get Thornbolt's casket. You bring it inside. Do you want to place them next to each other, or do you want to place one inside of the other?
If we can get it inside of it.
I think it will. I think it will fit.
That's my preferred.
Okay.
One inside of the other works perfect because
If I can do,
the
yeah, if we
bones
can do,
are already kind of mixed.
That way we can just lay them all inside. Yeah, we try
Okay.
to get it inside.
You do, and then you put the. I hate it when that happens. May come. That sneeze. It's just lingering. You know.
Begging to get out.
It's just trying.
It's all
No.
the cobwebs.
It's
and
all the
dust,
cobwebs. I know.
And the dead bones.
So, Durgan,
bones
as you
smell.
actually, as you're actually placing the bones in together, do you keep them in the comforter, or do you?
I'll
lay them out?
I'll take them out of the comforter.
Okay.
And I might actually put the comforter kind of
Over?
Range it kind of like a
Over
blanket,
under it like a blanket.
Yeah.
Okay. As you do that and you place the bones together, you hear a sigh, a deep sigh, from two children, and you feel there's some sort of kind of ripple inside of yourselves, as for a moment, this time very much ghostly, you see the two children rise from the bones and then back down, and instead of standing up, they turn to lay and then dissolve. And all of you are bolstered by this moment, and you are now inspired. So the group has inspiration. All the characters get inspiration. Which you may well need.
Farron's gonna walk just to the front of the little coffin area, and she places her right hand on the front of it and just closes her eyes, and the image of a giant, beautiful, blooming rose and some thorns appears, and she steps back. It won't last long, but it's pretty well we can see it for now.
Finny looks at you. I think it's a good idea. I'm glad.
Durgan will go over and just nod at you.
All right, y'all. After another moment, you collect yourselves, and I take it you press on.
Yeah, Gira's gonna put Rose's, that capstone or the lid or...
Oh, you're gonna slide it back into...
Slide it back.
Pivot it back
and
into
then
place.
put thorn bolts on the floor and lean it right kind of next to it.
Are you sure, Gira? Don't you think that's gonna let people know we've been here? What if somebody comes behind us or something? They're gonna see something's wrong.
You don't care? Okay. The slabs are heavy.
Identify them together.
I don't know. I think I might just say that something's right. Got a good long time in this place.
Well, you would say something sentimental like that. Okay, it's fine.
The slabs are heavy, so you have to drag thorn bolts over there, but you get it over there, and you would have whatever help you need. Okay. They are laid to rest then, well and truly, even identified. As you press on,
Be free, children.
as you press on, you come into what looks like some sort of dining hall. There's a large but plain wooden table. It's flanked by long benches. It looks like there's some sort of much smaller room off to your left, maybe a kind of larder or something to that effect. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because this cuts back, so you can't really see much, through there. And as you poke your head around here, you see there's like some sort of brief set of stairs going down. And you can't really see much past, at that angle, you can't really see much more than that.
Are things looking like dusty, cobwebby, or more like people have been here?
Moldy
using
humanoid
everything?
bones lie strewn on the dirt floor.
Well, that's always a good sign.
And okay. And there's quite a collection of bones in here, y'all. Some of the bones look like humans. Some of the bones, for the first time as you're examining them, you hear Morgathi say, gnomes. Well, party of them, look at these things. Just strewn about. Someone had a taste for them, and he holds up a gnome femur, and you see bite marks all up and down it. And then you don't see any set that's like immediately and obviously elven, for what that's worth.
Do you know what caused bites?
Well, this is
You could tell the different blades upstairs.
not my favorite thing, you see, but well,
Teeth are bones.
that's true. You know, Gira, it's beginning to occur to me that you do have a certain sense. I really do. I'm not sure whether or not to be alarmed or appreciative. Perhaps both. But here we
I don't know
are.
whether to be complimented or insulted.
Good. I like to be on even footing with my comrades. And he runs the thumb along the bones, and he says, "Well, this was a large male biting into it. But this was... It's not even a mouth. This was crushed and slashed by something. It looks like other bone. Some sort of bony protrusion or bone weapon? I'm not certain. But look at this. And he shows you where it's kind of like splintered off, and it's a much longer piece of damage than a slice.
I have a question for you. Is it possible that these things are being animated themselves?
Well, it's always possible, but speaking as someone who's spent his fair share of time around reanimated remains, these are really not, and he takes the Athame, the jewel dagger that he uses as arcane focus, and he's kind of pointing. He says, most of these are not quality, they're not top grade. You'd never, for example, snap off a condyle like that and then expect magic to just flow through it. And he's looking at the end of one of the bones where it looks like, again, it's been kind of crushed and stepped on. He says, besides, it's almost impossible to get a proper reanimation on a random sort unless you're very, very good. So these would be separated out. But you see how human, gnome, and unless I might miss my mark, halfling is all over here. Halfling? He says, yes, apparently they're equal opportunity cannibals, or whatever it is when you're eating cross species.
Gary wants to take a look at how the bones are arranged on the floor and see if there's any kind of sense to them. Like, was this like a skeleton that just kind of rotted, died in place? Are these scattered bones that are clean and free of clothes, flesh?
Since Morg is giving you a little bone tour, go ahead and make an investigation with advantage.
Morgan the
Oh,
Moor.
I like this advantage.
I suppose it's good tactically to know what you just told us, but I can't say I feel good about knowing it.
He's
15.
He sounds, both of you have 15. Good show. Just a sec. Have either of your characters, Farron or Durgan, have you studied formally anywhere?
Yeah.
Before? Yeah. Okay, so Farron has, Durgan has, or has not?
Yeah.
Has? Okay. There's a certain professorial air to him when he begins, where you feel like this isn't the first time he's started lecturing on the finer points of, storing a proper storage and maintenance of one's reagents for reanimation.
He just doesn't like the sound of his own voice.
There's that too, but you're looking around, and the longer you look at it, Gira, the more convinced you become that it looks like these are just bones that are getting flung off the table. So they're sitting down to eat, and then the bones are getting strewn around because they're all mixed up with each other. Some nice folk you've run into down here.
Whoever ate them here.
Finny says, and that's supposed to be comforting, Gira?
No.
Okay, I just want to be clear. Thank you for sharing.
Knowledge is helpful, not always comforting.
He kind of shrugs, and Morgathi looks at you again, and like I said, I'm not sure yet. The
More
jury
knowledge
still
is often less comforting.
Hey.
Well, considering that I was run out on a rail because of knowledge that I was seeking at the college, I have a certain empathy for those of us who push too far, but sometimes it is nice to be ignorant about these things. You're right. I don't know. All right, where do you guys want to head from here? Or you want to search more thoroughly here? You could as well.
You're on the lead, but I'll tell you, I think I'm looking forward to finding whatever is making that sound. Feeling a little bit of wrath coming on.
Do we hear that sound? Has it gotten any louder?
It is oddly exactly the same as when you got down here.
It's not a normal sound.
It's not coming from any direction. It's not getting louder.
It may just be...
Well, there's more rooms back the way we came from on the other side of the stairs. I just figured it would be a better idea to have an open space to begin.
Well, I was getting hungry, Finny says. This really gets my appetite up. I'm joking.
She picks up a bone.
it's a good thing that I don't have a bone to pick with you.
She's like, she's kidding.
Yeah. He's
Is
like,
the table dusty at all, or is it
it is.
covered in dust?
It is, yeah. And there's there's the obligatory cobwebs down here. A little bit of dust
And there's no
falls from the ceiling as the earth
there's
shifts.
no obvious like food.
It is oddly devoid of bowls, silverware, anything along those lines. It looks
Well,
like.
when you're eating barbecue, you don't often need
Yeah, I could at least have a napkin.
Then he's like, if things get desperate, and he goes down and he selects some of the more delicate of the halfling. It's really morbid, but I could probably make this into a backup set of lockpicks if I had to, made of bone. What do you think?
That sounds very resourceful.
They're
Okay.
not gonna get any deader than they already are.
No, it's true.
So then you do have a bone to pick with.
I mean, damn, I do. It's true, Durgan.
I'm leaving. This is it.
A bit of levity before what's coming, I'm sure, is a good thing.
We need it.
That was good.
Yay.
Gara, where do you take the group from there?
So there's downstairs off one direction. There's back the way we came. There's another way this way.
Looks like we can go every direction.
Yeah, there's basically you can go every direction. Yeah.
You said there was a small room.
There's some
almost
sort
like
of
a larder.
There's some sort of darkened larder in there. Yeah.
She'll poke her head in just, maybe not even fully go in, but just kind of poke her head in just to see if there's anything useful or telling or tells part of the story.
Now that I can, I'll make sure that I've got the shield ready to be used.
Okay.
Yeah, Garrett
Right.
put her war axe away or battle axe away, but she's got it back out now.
I would imagine so with all the bones.
We're gonna be ready.
What's your passive, hun?
Perception?
Perception. Yep.
14.
Okay. So, as you poke your head in,
He's observant.
she is observant. Yeah, that's right, because you have proficiency with it.
Yes.
As you poke your little head in, you see that the larder is unlike upstairs. Although I guess you guys, I know you never went into the kitchen. Never mind.
Durgan did.
We went in the kitchen.
Durgan
Oh,
and
that's right. That's right. And you
We're
saw.
gonna look at the
Kitchen and
food.
That's right. You saw that the food. No, yeah.
fully stocked
I
and
stand corrected.
beautiful.
Weirdly
It was weirdly stocked.
stocked and
There's a
healthy
fair
looking.
amount of
and-
delicious looking,
Yeah.
ready to go food.
Right? Like everyone just went to a
Kind of
festival
missing
or
that
something.
now.
So these shelves are. It doesn't explicitly say, but I'm imagining them because this would have been for more people. That they're basically like lining the three sides of the larder, and they'd have multiple levels, and there's maybe some dusty, drained small little kegs at the not keg, like yay big that are underneath.
Little mini kegs.
Little mini kegs, yeah. And as you're looking, you're like, oh. Is that there might be some sort of sack or something that's still there? That's funny.
Can she sniff in there too?
It's musty, and as you're looking, the sack unfurls. And
She got the shield up
and
first.
comes at you.
You got sacked.
I got sacked.
Yep.
You've been sacked.
Now you're joining it.
Stay up.
You're stoking the fire
Either
here.
leave or join them, so I
Yeah.
guess I chose to join.
And you have
Stoking a
We're the
fire, which is another word
now.
for being sacked, by the way.
you have this beauty unfurling and lunging at your
Sure,
face.
it's gorgeous. It's just
You're gonna get a good look at that.
Glamorous.
As it attaches to your face.
What do
What
we
is this,
got?
alien?
wow, pretty much.
Cool.
So,
cool.
for our faraway friends,
It's
you're seeing this serpentine thing. It's actually pretty beefy. Like it's a good deal.
a hug.
Yeah. Yeah. Greg wants a hug. It's like probably it probably looks like a fat python.
Okay.
And
With a beak and octopus.
and it has beak. Well, there you go. It has this nasty little beak. It's got its clawed octopus tentacles coming out basically 4 of them
So it's like an octopus met a snake.
with the little starfish, with a little bit of murder starfish in there. And go ahead and roll initiative, everyone. Let me.
Don't call him an octopus. He's a squid.
He's a quadrupus. Based on the picture.
Oh, that was terrible.
Wow.
Oh, that's right. Initiative.
That is a terrible roll.
Same. You're just gonna be hanging out with this thing on your face, waiting for everybody to help you out.
Right?
All right, let me.
God.
Guys!
Let me make sure to get this.
help, please.
Okay, who's over a 20? No, wow.
All right, go. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hopefully
Yeah.
That's
not.
awesome.
That's gonna be fun.
Roll for Fenny, would you?
Ah, yes.
Come on, Finny.
Let's see what
Over
we're
20.
Over 20.
What is
over
his
20.
plus?
It's 4.
Then that's an 11, so
11
15 for him.
Yeah.
All right. I'm also at 15.
You're 15. Roll, Justin, and then roll, Melissa. We'll do a roll off here real quick and see who gets adjudicated
Another
first.
20.
Roll off.
That's 14 on the die.
You're higher. This is 7.
Okay. So, 15. Fenny. We've got
15.5.
Durgan. Durgan, are you the highest? I rolled a 1 for Morgathi, so there you go on that.
Yikes.
Yep.
Okay.
Do we roll for our Texia?
Haven't rolled yet. Actually, go ahead and roll for her. I think I'll put you on.
Okay, that's a 10. I don't know what her plus is for initiative.
Plus 3.
Yeah, plus 3. I think moving forward, Caitlin, I'll put you on our Texia duty when we're doing kind of random rolls, the way that I have you with Finny.
My fun
Yeah, she
multicolor
can.
die.
So she's moving at a 13.
The multicolor.
And what did you get for Gira?
Gira got a 6.
Gira
I got a
is
6
rocking.
too.
Rolled a 3 and I got a plus
Okay, well, we
3.
have
have another roll-off.
We have another roll off then.
Jeez.
That's funny.
Oh, that's only an 8 for me.
That's a 5.
Okay.
Okay.
You're
so
gonna
we
be
got
going
a-
last
is
while you just sit with this thing
fun.
on your face.
We have a
Pretty
Gira.
I hope we get it off your face
First
before we
in the
even get to
room,
you.
going last.
And-
Makes sense to me.
Jeez.
And then who am I missing?
And this is all tight quarters too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all
It
pretty.
is.
Man.
It's all pretty.
Okay.
You just had to go poke your head in.
Just, I was only checking.
And this lovely green color will be the Grick.
The Grick.
I might need to like crease that paper a little bit better and then I'll like that.
Greg.
Able to do it. Okay. Durgan, you're up.
Wow.
And so you hear this.
Since space is tight, I'm going to try to stand back a bit and chuck some spells at it so that the people who have to get into combat with it, like, are rogue and whatnot, can.
Two important ones, because this has been coming up like crazy in the home campaign I'm running. Going through allied squares is difficult terrain, and you cannot end your movement in somebody else's square willingly.
Right.
Rules is written. I let them do that in the main campaign, but I'm trying to run this by the book, so that's how that goes. Okay, go ahead.
So I am going to try to move just enough to make it more accessible to.
It's hard right now. It's hard right now because
There's
she's
no
There's really not people behind me, I guess. Yeah, So I'm going to.
Gira is providing the creature cover with her
Great.
body.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, okay, Sacred Flame. So.
So you don't care about cover.
Not cover at all.
Well done.
Yep. Deck save.
Okay. What does that look like? Like how does it narratively? How does
It looks like kind of a smaller version of like a God, I forget the name of that Flame Strike. So it's just kind of.
And what does he say to beseech the Morninglord?
I still haven't done that.
Oh shit.
I mean,
I mean, this isn't like it's happening like that.
let's see what he's. I don't know. I mean, this is a cantrip, so I don't.
If you don't have anything in the next 5 seconds, it's oh shit.
He's gonna say, by the flame or something like that.
By the flame. Okay. All right. Or
I
you
need
know,
a quick catchphrase.
Bride's alive or something. Yeah. Okay. Your DC's 14.
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, it slithers aside.
Okay.
Okay. No, that was probably the correct thing to
Haven't hit
do.
with that thing yet. All right.
Finny, man.
It is tight.
No, it's bad quarters because you can squeeze. I know all about the
Finny
squeezing.
could probably
rules.
come in near and close to my legs.
So Finny,
my legs are not going to move.
yeah, Finny kind of comes in and then leaps up to try to try to tag it. Is the short sword? I should know this, but does short sword have the light
Yes, light
feature
and
to
finesse.
it? I know it's finesse, but yeah, okay.
It's a light because I know you can use that in an offhand as well.
Wait, look at me. I actually took out the weapons for just this thing. I will eventually get all this. It is light. Okay, good. So he leaps up and he tries to. Whew! Your boy just rolled a 20.
Yeah. Come on, Finny.
Hey, Fanny.
Who cares about his buddy?
Get off her! And it's double the dice, so that would be doubled and hit. Woo! Wow. Okay. And his
him right now.
And his
Yeah, his-
coordinated attack,
Yep.
quote unquote sneak attack, might be as doubled
Get him
also.
off your face right now.
Rogues can do the coolest damage
Damage.
in like this one little way.
Okay. He wounds it deeply. He gets it right behind the beak into what approximates as its
It's my
brain.
boy.
And some sort of ichor begins to gush from it. It's not dead,
Poor
but
Kira getting covered in ichor.
and then at this, I don't know. Well,
She's a fighter. This is like her
It's like,
jam.
and then he takes
Never
his
smelled this before.
It's like, I forgot to
takes
put
his-
on my perfume this morning.
he takes his bonus action and uses his dagger
Come on.
and manages to shank it pretty well there too. Does not get his bonus for damage, but still, so that'd be a whew, yeah, no, that's a lot.
Finny
Damn,
coming
Finny.
in hot.
Finny does a lot of damage in these fights.
Well, that was a natural 20
Yeah.
and sneak attack. So that's like a magical
About
combination.
as good as he can do.
That really is a magical combination.
Okay,
Best case scenario.
Artexia says, Gira, your head is too big. And because remember, she's a lot shorter than you two.
Oh, that's
So
right.
she hopped. No, that's what she do. She jumps on the table,
I was waiting for someone to do that.
and keeping the lamp in one hand. Mother with me. And she tries to, even with you providing it partial cover, that's still going to get it. Yeah, not much though.
It'd be funny if everyone slings damage at this thing and they can't even see it before it just dies.
I don't even know what I'm trying to kill, but I'm gonna kill.
So it looks like her flame singed, but it was so hastily conjured that when she threw it, there was just a little spurt. Okay. Freaking out on me. All right, now finally, it gets to do its thing.
No, we don't want it to do anything.
Poor baby Greg. Okay, so first, it's trying to lasso your head with its tentacles.
Makes sense.
However, it looks like it gets caught up on your shield. Tack, 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 tack. And it tries to get the beak in there as well, but because it couldn't find purchase with the tentacles, it doesn't have any leverage, and you just basically slap the beak away. As it's over its skis and well off the shelf. Okay, Farron.
Oh, it's me already?
Yep.
Is there enough room for me to join Artexia on the table? I'm right there next to her.
You can squeeze onto the table, and then attack rolls that you're making are at disadvantage.
Okay. Shoot. Alright, try and fire an arrow into that sucker.
Okay. On the light crossbow that you have. All right. This is gonna be a rough roll, but you may get lucky. So go ahead, because you're at disadvantage, and she's giving it partial cover.
I know, but it's
Yeah, go for it.
my best shot here. Alright. Okay, so that's a 12.
12. Yeah. So you hit it, and its tough hide deflects.
Damn, you're
Flex that. All right, Gira, it's actually
Is it finally?
Yeah.
Did Morgathy do
He
anything?
rolled a 1, so he's just chilling.
Oh, you're not actually last. That's nice.
Yeah.
What's
going on?
For sure, I
What
would
is it?
be.
You people are always so noisy.
She's gonna keep the shield up,
Okay.
but then she's gonna whack it with the battle axe.
Because he hasn't even registered yet that it's just all just bam, bam, bam. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That is a 17 plus 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so math happens.
That happens.
You go right in where your boon companion has already weakened its scales. And go ahead and roll damage.
Max. I rolled an 8.
Math happened.
Nice.
Plus 3, so 11.
11 total? Okay.
11 total.
But you have so much more weight and strength that instead of weakening it, you slam into it and you finish chopping the beak off. And along with the beak, what little pea brain gray matter there is inside of it.
The little bitty button.
Little bird brain, yeah. It flops onto the ground with a thud, and it starts spasming around. The tentacles kind of writhing mindlessly. And then it slowly.
She's gonna leave the battle axe in there.
Okay, until it's.
Yeah, until she can be like, wait, she'll just tap the battle axe and be like, it's okay, then now. It only twitch.
Why do I feel like it's that scene when Gimli and Legolas are arguing about who got the most
It's
kills?
just as nervous.
He twitched.
Yeah.
He's twitching because he's got my accent in his skull.
Right?
Morgathy pokes his head around the corner. Get away from that thing. It's disgusting. Ferocious tactus. And you have the skeletal hand pick it up. And you see the necrotic energy flows into the corpse and thoroughly rots the corpse away. Not quite to dust, but like significant withering. Ugh. Oh. It's disgusting. Okay. And Artexia looks at you. Well, hello. And she smiles and then hops down off of it. All right, we are out of rounds. It doesn't even get to twitch anymore.
No more twitching.
How big is the beak?
I mean, I'm saying if the beak is doing as much as a short sword, I'm imagining, I'm probably imagining like that.
Face size.
Face size. Gear,
Like,
gear
could
face size.
If she took off, she's now in like, can we use anything?
You start
Yeah, after he does kind of like this, almost like a decomposing kind of thing to then the flesh is now useless. So the beak, I'm assuming, is the only thing.
the beak is
really
fresh.
left.
Yeah, the beak is fresh.
So if she takes off like the top beak or bigger beak, will either one fit? And she'll like hold it up to Finny, be like, for like a pauldron, a shoulder, and be like.
He's using
Like-
bones and beaks. He's just covered in dead things.
Mira, you're amazing. And as soon as it like
she doesn't
clicks
say anything. He's
as soon as it
just
clicks
like
in his brain what you're trying to do,
because she already has one.
he immediately like takes his whittling knife and starts scraping to try to round out the edges of the
Yeah,
beak.
so it's not sharp.
So it's not sharp, and then he's like, okay, no, I got it. Okay, now we have to live. Now we absolutely have to live through this.
He's gonna be the most morbid-looking character in the entire
No,
group.
he's just covered in death.
Just covered in bones and
Bones and beaks.
Lordy.
We got scales, and Finny.
Oh, that's funny.
Finny goes to the tail real quick. He nips in and just cuts off a little section of fresh scale that Morgathy didn't get to with the necrotic energy, and he tucks that away as well. I'll dry it out and I'll make some sort of, I don't know, maybe an eye patch out of it or something. Yeah. Okay.
You have your disguises. It will work.
No, it's good. I'm good with that. All right, y'all. Where do you want to head from there?
Let's
This room done.
Yeah, I don't like that room.
Not this way.
So what actually was the room?
It looks like some sort of dusty
Just a-
larder.
Just a-
Pantry.
The pantry. Yeah.
thing.
Cellar.
Like a large communal pantry.
But nothing food-wise in there.
Bunch of dust, cobwebs, looks like some empty crates in there, etc.
Gira's gonna take a peek down the hallway that they came. Tight, small hallway. Because that was past, you said there was more turns and more hallway. This was the bigger room.
Yeah, if you go, you do see that it turns.
That way, probably more crypt.
Only one way to find out. I don't really want to leave anything unchecked behind us.
Or move forward.
And through all of this, the incessant chanting continues.
Or down.
We're not having any luck. I mean, we're not having any luck whatsoever, like determining the direction of those things, right? It's just kind of omnipresent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's coming from everywhere.
it might be.
Yeah, she's kind of just reading the room. If she doesn't really get a response, she'll just pick one.
Just yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
So
trust
she'll go that way, moving forward in the original direction we were heading.
Okay, so you're just continuing
Past the table.
on. Okay. So there's a little. Go ahead and end it. Yeah, it's a good place to pause the story as you come around a corner, and you're at a four-way intersection, and as you hit that exact center of the intersection, the chanting all of a sudden becomes markedly louder. And so you hear, there are two layers to it, so you're hearing the same, but as you go in there, you start to hear more clearly, "He is the ancient, he is the land, he is the
that old
ancient,
chestnut.
he is the land, he is the ancient, he is the land." Chanting continues. And that is where we will pause our tale.
This is so happy and pleasant.
Hey, we got the kids.
Sunshine and
That
daisies.
was happy
Great.
and
It's true.
pleasant
You
in
did.
a way. Also sad, but
I thought I was going to be carrying those. I thought I was going to be carrying
lot
them around
longer.
for a lot longer. Like we were going to have to
Yeah.
find our way out and find some place that.
some little field.
Basically went down the
somewhere or
stairs,
something,
turned
yeah.
right, there it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is their
I mean-
spot. Great.
You all just happen to...
This is the shortest road trip ever.
Yeah, pretty much. Just
We got lucky.
happen to go on. All right, and we will pick up with our heroes chanting, dealing with the incessant chanting going on down here, having just mauled a Grick without a scratch on them. Well done.
Kira's gonna start dancing to the chanting.
To the
Well,
chanting.
It's a decent beat.
he is the ancient. He is the land. He is the ancient. He is the land.
And
I'm going to beat you down with rhythm.
hopefully our tale continues apace, and we will have friend Kenzie back with us next time.
That'd be good.
So as we pause the tale there, faraway friends, stay safe, stay curious, and I'm hoping you're enjoying our little sojourn into a certain place called Barovia, eh? Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Bye.